Way Too Large here from Reddit Oak. Today I'm going to run through how I pick apart a TH9 base for war. This is going to be using a base from Rock Chili War. So this is one that I actually did attack. So the first thing I always look at is the CC range. So as you can see here, it's been selected. So with 2 poison, you can kill anything in the CC except like a golem, hound, and P.E.K.K.A. So I typically carry 2 poison on our first attack and try to get an easy lure on the CC because it makes everything a lot easier. And then just double poison it. Unfortunately on this base, as you can see, there's nowhere that I can come in and get that easy lure. Like, for example, if I was to come in here on this archer tower, I'd actually have to destroy it in order to get that lure. Same for down here. Same on this cannon. Even up here on these mortars, same thing. So there is no easy way to get that lure and use that strategy. Now, if I was to come, say, like right here and try to go here, they would actually end up probably going here or here because those are closer. They being hogs or a giant. Same thing with over here. It would probably go here or there, not right there like we would want. So that means to get a lure, we're going to have to destroy a building, or I'm sorry, a defense. A lot of times I've been told, or I guess heard from other people, that you want to use at maximum 10 troop space on a lure. And this is at Town Hall 9. I'm sure it varies on Town Hall 8. I'm not real up to date with their strategies. And I really think that that can vary depending on your attack style, how comfortable you are with that attack style and whatnot. And in fact, I chose to use 15 troop space on this attack to go ahead and try to lure that CC. Typically, if you decide it's too expensive, so let's say you thought 15 troops was too expensive, you're going to have to rage that CC kill with your kill squad. So just something to be thinking about. So anyways, I decided that I still want to pull the CC regardless. Even more so now because I feel like it could be a hound at this point. So now I have to decide which defense I want to pull it on. And so let's talk about that a little bit. Let's say I decide to pull on this archer tower right here. If I do, I'm looking at 1-point defense, 2-point defense, 3-point defense, and then the whiz tower. So that's going to cost me at least 4 hogs, I would guess. Maybe 5. I don't know if that Barb King will come over, and that's really expensive. If I wanted to come on this archer tower, we're looking at 1-point defense, 2-point defense, 3-point defense. And then also the next closest building would actually probably be that mortar. So that's not going to help. Let's see, what else could we try to lure on? That's really it. On the outside, you might try to do it here, but then your pathing would go here, I would imagine. So then you're actually wasting more troops than just attacking the archer tower. So that leaves up top. You could try here, or here, or here. The mortars being basically equal. It's a preference thing at that point. So I actually choose this mortar right here to lure on. And that's because there's going to be 1-point defense, 2-point defense. And that's it. It's hitting it. I assume this mortar's in range, but it's really not of big concern. Another thing to think about is the health that the defense is going to have. In this case, I believe mortars have the lowest health of any defense, so they'll actually move through it faster. So I chose 3 hogs to get through there. Queen, I don't think will start firing until they're actually through the mortar, just based on her range. So once they get through the mortar, then they will be in range of the CC. So that's what I decided to go with. I probably should have gone with 4 hogs. I ended up going with 3, and they just barely get through there and pull the CC. So now that you've decided your lure point, how many hogs you're going to use, or giants, or whatever, you need to think about what do you think will be in that CC. And like I said, in this case, I decided I thought it was going to be a hound, and that's in large part due to the way the base is set out. With it being unlurable, that leads me to believe that it was going to be a hound in there. It could have also been like a really mixed bag of CC troops, a bunch of archers, a witch maybe, or something like that. But if that was the case, a poison would be really easy to take care of that, especially double poisoning it, which is what I carried. So I thought it was going to be a hound. Like I said, just because it's unlurable, and that would be the biggest pain for me to deal with as an attacker. So once I decided it was a hound, I decided to bring a healer and 2 archers and take care of it that way, just distract it for the whole attack. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go ahead and just search healer archer lava hound distraction or something on YouTube. They'll explain it. I'm not going to go into detail about that on this. Okay. So yeah, that's the first step. We're going to switch to a different view of the base real quick. So same base. Now we're just going to talk about what I look at next once we've decided how we're going to do with the CC. Yeah. So next I look at possible double giant bomb spots. Right here is possible. Right here. This whole area, I'm just going to mark it as 1. This whole area. This whole area. And technically out here is possible. Not a great spot at all. Messed up. Well, whatever. So those are all the possible double giant bombs, excluding this one. I don't know what that's from. On this base. And you're thinking at this point, that's a lot of possible spots. That's kind of scary for hogs. I mean, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 possible spots. And that is a lot, don't get me wrong. But one thing to look at is they're all on this side of the base. Excluding these 2, which are terrible spots. And I highly doubt you'll ever see a double giant bomb over there. Maybe a single, but even then, that's pretty poor. So, yeah, so based on pathing and whatnot is what I look at next. So we're going to exclude these because on the sides, if it was there, the only possible path to get the hogs is on that cannon. So they'll go through and then through to get to there. It's not great because it's just a poor pathing way for the hogs. So I'm going to assume that's not where it is. Next, I'm going to look at possible spots that could be. Like I said here, if that was the case, you would have to path in like that. Or the opposite, obviously, like that. It's not a bad spot, and it would definitely work. But either way, these 2 spots are on the way to these spots. Meaning, if I'm to enter the base with my kill squad from this way, I'll take care of all of these possible spots. Now, the kill squad is in charge of getting possible double giant bomb spots and the queen. So if I do decide to come in from this way, I'm looking at a long path to the queen. But ultimately, that's what I decided to do in this base because I can't think of a better way to get rid of the double giant bombs. I may have been able to queen walk this way, which would have gotten rid of these defenses to make pathing not a big deal, and then enter golems from the side. But I still feel like that's a really long way to go from the queen, and there's a lot more that could go wrong. So I find it easier just to come in from the south here. So now that I know where the double giant bombs are, how I should deal with them, I need to plan my attack. So we're looking at covering about half the base with the kill squad alone. That means we're going to need 3 golems, typically. I don't really have a set way of how I determine how many golems I want to take. Usually I decide how much of the base I want to get and get a feel for how many defenses that'll take. Like I say, I'm doing about half the base here, so I'm going to take 3 golems. That's really something that I feel like you're going to have to just learn how long your golems last. Unfortunately, I can't tell you a set way if there's 17-point defenses hitting the last 4 seconds. I mean, I don't know anything like that. So yeah, 3 golems in from down here. We're probably gonna need a couple wheels on both sides to get that funnel. Probably a couple more because you're looking at a very long way to travel to get to that queen, and maybe 2 to clean up. So 8 whiz looking like. We're going to have 1 healer. Actually, let's just do 16 troops for the lure. Being the healer and the 2 archers, we're not going to count the hogs in that. So basically from there, I can decide how many hogs I can carry. I think it ended up being 21 or 22 on this base. I don't like to dip below 18 hogs for a base, so keep that in mind when you're deciding how many wizards you're going to have and stuff, and always count off the ones you're going to use on your lure. So I think I carried 21, so I was going to be at 18 hogs for the actual attack. That's typically how I do it. Again, preferences change there. Okay, so now we know our troop composition. We know where we're entering from. We know how we're entering. I'm sorry, we don't know how we're entering. We know where we're going in, though. We're going in right here. So you could either wall breaker in on this compartment, and then have a nice easy jump spell, something like that. But that means you're going to be carrying at least 6 wall breakers, maybe 12. 3 wall breakers. Maybe 6 if you're breaking into both of those compartments. That's a lot of troop space when you're already limited down to 8 whiz and 20 some hogs. You're going to be dropping down to like 15 hogs by the end of it, and that's just really expensive. So I try to get away from that and go with a jump spell almost exclusively. It's easier to path. You don't have to worry about wall breaker fail. You do lose a spell spot, but personally I feel like the gain is worth it. There's not as much error there, and the pathing is just so much better. So what we're looking at is we need to get into this compartment to get that queen. Excuse me. Because the queen will inevitably jump into this compartment here. I don't actually have to get into this compartment. So yeah, that means we need to jump from the outer edge all the way into this middle compartment there. So that's where my jump spell is going to have to go. And if I'm going to want to miss, so let me explain this. If I miss the jump spell, I would rather miss it to this side than this side. And that being because I'm going to drop a rage there to get through the defenses a lot faster. And with the rage, my troops and whatnot will actually be able to use the jump spell over this wall, even if I misplace it. So just something to keep in mind for that. So we're going to go jump spell and rage. If I had 20-20 or 30-30 heroes, I don't think I would have raged. I would have just carried an extra heal. But to get my heroes through there faster, I felt like it was needed. So with this, I should be able to take care of this double giant bomb spot, 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 this, and still get the queen. That's basically how I went into it. Yeah. So once I have that figured out, it's the basic strategy for my go portion of my go. I need to decide how I'm going to lay in the hogs. And this is something that I actually wait until during the attack to decide. And this is in large part because I use the golems to tank for my initial hogs. With only having 2 heals, you really need to make sure that you're using those golems to take some of the fire off of them. So if the golems had ended up being pulled this way, I would have laid in my hogs from this direction. And then worked my way around the base like that. However, in this attack, they were actually pulled this way. So I laid in the hogs here and then worked my way around the base. And that's really just like, for me, a preference way of doing it. It's just a lot easier for me to judge where the golems are going to go during the attack than try to path that stuff out. So once the golems are here and they're starting to break up, start to litter in 3 or 4 hogs per defense, and let them go through as the golems are tanking. And then just kind of continue that pattern on around. And I don't really usually plan out heals either. I kind of decide how the hogs are doing. But typically if there's a big pack of defenses like there is right here, that's a great place for a heal. And also over here, this is a big pack of defenses. So yeah, just I like to do surgical around the base. Basically, when a defense is being distracted by the pack that's coming around, I drop in 3 or 4 more on that defense until I'm out of hogs, and then just let them go together. Hard to explain through this kind of video, but if you're interested in the attack, it was shown in the war recap. So that's more or less the whole process I go through of how to destroy a Town Hall 9 in war. I may do another one of these at some point, but nothing's really going to change. It'll just be a different base, and we'll talk about that. So yeah, hope that helped.